Please introduce yourself with your name and class year.
Sure. I'm Angus Rowe and 2009 year OPM.
Okay. And please tell us the name of your business and give us a brief, clear explanation of your company's concept and business model.
The business name is LifeQube. The business is a mobile health solution. It's basically a clinic management system on a mobile phone. So what you see in the doctor's room when you see him put it on a computer, we've taken that and put it on a mobile phone. So it does patient diagnosis, it does stock control of the clinic, patient registration and patient management. That information is then put onto a central patient record, a central database, which then can be further integrated into government health systems or large hospital networks or drug companies, ERP systems, and so it has multiple uses. So it is aimed at the developing world. So we work in the developing world, which is Africa, Asia, Latin America, the Caribbean, and in some parts of the first world, like the outback of Australia. So that's our target market. It's really aimed to be able to take healthcare and healthcare delivery out into areas where there is no healthcare delivery. You must remember that the developing world is 64% of all people who live in the developing world, or 64% of all mobile users live in the developing world. So it's a large portion.
So what market need or niche will your business fill?
Well, there's an enormous need in the developing world for effective healthcare. It's very expensive at the moment. It's inefficient. There is no healthcare delivery out of very select urban areas and even in urban areas. So the need is really to deliver consistent and quality healthcare to the greater population of those particular areas. And a lot of the pharmaceutical companies and the pharmaceutical distributors are seeing the developing world over the next 10 to 15 years as being where their growth path is. I mean, they're at the moment in the first world saturated. They're swapping a customer for another customer, but all the customers are in the system where there's 4 billion people in the developing world, as I said, of which 64% of them use mobile phones, and those people are new customers for these types of people. So not only for governments, but for a lot of the first world's large corporates, they're seeing the developing world as where their growth area is. So we will fulfill a need of being able to deliver that information, that healthcare, because our system, where a nurse uses a mobile phone to diagnose a patient, that information goes back to pharmaceutical companies, get a lot of value from that information, the distribution companies get a lot of value, and governments obviously want that information in terms of the central patient record. So when that person comes into an urban area, they've got that record, and when they go back again.
So what unique skills or experience would you say your team brings to the market?
Well, we've been in it for 20 years. I personally have been in healthcare in the developing world for over 20 years. We run a large insurance company, medical insurance company in South Africa. We've run the most successful HIV/AIDS disease management company in South Africa and still do. We run an employee wellness program that does large employee wellness. So we've been in healthcare for a long time. That's my side, and my team. My partner is the managing director of our HIV business. My other partner, who's the CIO, who's here with me in Boston. He's a qualified pharmacist. He's also doing his master's in government health systems and has a degree in computer science, so understands the technology side of it. And our team, which has worked in healthcare, as I say, for 20 years in the developing world, understands it very well.
So what will success look like going forward? What milestones or benchmarks are you planning for?
Okay. Well, milestone one, we did the business plan, we did the beta site, we tested it, we refined it, we implemented, we monitored it. So we've done all of that. The funding's there, and we've obviously funded the first version of the program, which is out and actually working as we sit here today in Rwanda. It's live and working in the real world. Milestone 2 is really going on global expansion, and that's where we are now. In fact, we after this Harvard Institute, we're sort of carrying on around the world and seeing all these people. So the milestone 2 is to ensure we get it into the developing world territories. We've got Africa, and we have a footprint there. We want to now get a footprint in the Caribbean and Central America, and we're looking at actually the outback of Australia as a possible area on the way home, and then later on in the year we will be going to India to look at them as an area. So those are the milestones we've pegged out as what it is. There's continuous development, so the next milestone on the actual system is the increase of the disease scope of the system. In other words, what other diseases can we carry on providing a platform in which to do disease management on those particular diseases, like HIV is one, those types of things.
How did your experience at HBS put you on the path to launching this business?
That's a good question. I think, well, I'm a great, I advocate HBS enormously. I mean, it changed my life when I came and did OPM. I think it's a great course. I think it's fantastic. It certainly makes the world a lot smaller, you know. And I think that it sort of gave us the ability to take what we felt obviously was perhaps prior to my HBS experience was very much limited to an African experience and an African reality. That coming here and looking at it from a more global context, we realized we could take some very good stuff that we've done in Africa and actually make it global. And I think that's, out of all things, I think that's probably the most important, and I made a great deal of very good friends, which is very important as well.